Ron, where are you? Where is Ron right now? You done messed up, Ron!
Hello, everybody. Ron is back. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year's Eve. I'm telling you guys, 2023, it's going to be the year of Scientology. Really regrets that I have a YouTube channel. They might have started to regret it last year, but they're going to really regret it this year. We're here to talk about Shelly Miscavige, you guys. And here, let me just share my screen so we have the proper theme going on here. Shelly Miscavige has been spotted again in California near the base where she is known to have been last working. And I'm going to share the information with you that's been shared with me. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because the last week or two has proven that putting out some information in videos and asking you out there to help me find more information. Not so much go find more information, but reaching out to you out there who have more information in hopes that you will share it with me. This has been insanely successful. All of the information I've been able to share about Whitney Mills is purely as a result of that. Me asking the viewers who have more information about it to share it with me. And so let's get right into the Shelly Miscavige thing, where she has been found and what happened, because it's not a good story. It's not a good story at all. Now, the person who's sharing this information with me is lives in the community, works in the community, is a professional in the community, and therefore has asked not to be identified. So whereas I have some things I'm going to share with you on the screen, I'm going to read to you from an email, and I'm going to censor parts of the email so that Scientology can't identify this guy. But you can, but know that I know who the guy is. Okay, it's not anonymous to me. So let me just make sure everything's squared away here. Okay, I'm going to read to you things from the email, and then I'm going to share things with you on the screen to correspond with it. Okay, so this says, "Dear Aaron, I know I troll the S out of you online sometimes, but that is not this. For my own reasons, I have issues with Scientology. I live right near the Twin Peaks compound where Shelly Miscavige is said to work." Now, let me show you guys what he's talking about here. So Twin Peaks is the colloquial term that is sometimes used to refer to the secret Scientology base where Shelly Miscavige was sent by her husband to work once he decided he didn't want her around anymore. It's called Twin Peaks because it's located in Twin Peaks, California. How about that? This is a secret base called CST. CST stands for Church of Spiritual Technology, and it's one of the secretive Scientology organizations responsible for storing L. Ron Hubbard's written and recorded works in secret underground nuclear-proof vaults, so that once our civilization destroys itself through thermonuclear war, as L. Ron Hubbard predicted it most likely would, when civilization rebuilds, it will be able to find L. Ron Hubbard's miraculous technology and therefore allow the human race to continue to go up Scientology's bridge to total freedom. Because when you are living in a post-apocalyptic world, I'm sure your number one concern is how can you get you some Scientology auditing? Am I right? Am I right, everyone? Okay, so let me show you this on this map here. This dot, that is the CST base. Now, let me show you where that is in relation to Scientology's secret international base. You and I know where these things are. No one in Scientology knows where these things are, except for the people who work there. It's a highly guarded secret. You'd think like, even in the age of Google, Scientologists still don't know where these things are. So here you have San Bernardino. Gilman Hot Springs, Golden Era Productions. That is the address of Scientology's secretive international management base. And boom, right up there is the CST compound where Shelly works. Nobody at the INT base knows the location of the CST base. Can you believe that? Okay, so here's an actual terrestrial, like a terrain view of the CST base. And you can see sometimes people will call this rim of the world. That's because the highway's right there. Some people call this crest line. And I haven't spent enough time looking at this map to figure out why it's called crest line. Some people call it rim forest. And here, there's another pretty cool little breakdown here showing an actual diagram of, come on now. Oh, no, come on back, of what's on this property. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. Come on now. My mouse is letting me down. What the heck was the thing I just saw? Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. I got to zoom out. Sorry, guys. It was a nice little thing that even, oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Now can I zoom in on it without totally losing it? Boom, boom, boom. So look, if you can read this, it shows where everything is. Propane tanks, side gate, storage trucks, office, administration room, 9-room lodge, transmitters, gym, dorm, main gate, dining hall, production. And this information comes from former Sea Org members, probably Dylan Gill himself, who I used to work with, Shelly Miscavige, and worked at this base. Okay, there was even something else I wanted to show you. Okay, but for now, let's just leave it at that. I'm going to zoom in on Twin Peaks here so I can show you some stuff later. Okay, back to the email. And in the meantime, let's just go back to Shelly. All right. Okay, so he says, I live right near the Twin Peaks compound, and I have to leave that out because it will help identify him. He says, since 2017, there have been reports of Shelly being seen in our tiny grocery store or our hardware store in the company of 2 men. I own, and I have to leave that out because it will identify him. And I take care of and I have to leave that out because it will identify him. Due to that, I speak with California Highway Patrol and the sheriffs all of the time. Here's 2 things I want you to know. 1, it is being said that Shelly showed up again at the Goodwin's grocery store. By the way, I got this email less than 2 weeks ago, okay? At the Goodwin's grocery store. This time she showed up alone and she was asking for help. The sheriffs were called and the California Highway Patrol showed up and took her the F back, okay? 2, I then spoke to, and I cannot say that because it will help identify him. He said that the California Highway Patrol is in Scientology's pocket. And he said that when he was in the California Highway Patrol, that they would have the CHP officers over for dinner and for events, and they would give them gifts constantly. He said this was to get the CHP to side with Scientology on things exactly like this. Shelly is here. She is still being held in the Twin Peaks compound. They have now added new cameras around the perimeter. And a buddy of mine is and I cannot say that because it will hit too close to home here. I'm just trying to figure out how I can say this. I want to say this, but I have to figure out the right way to say it. He was on a trail on a camp near the property, and 3 armed men pulled their pew-pews on him and questioned him about what he was doing. These examples, combined with the video that you did about the sniper's nest being found on the Hemet base, is very alarming to say the least. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. Okay, so for all of you out there, I did respond to this person because you have to understand, guys, I have already said in the past why I am extremely skeptical about sightings of Shelly Miscavige. I've talked about it a lot. I know even though I've talked about it a lot, 90% of the people watching this video probably have no idea what I've said about that. I recently discussed this subject on an interview with Danny that I did on the Koncrete podcast. And Danny broke out a segment of that interview where we're talking about Shelly. In the description of this video, once it's processed and uploaded to YouTube, I'll actually put a link to the part of the Koncrete interview where we talk about Shelly Miscavige. Talking with Danny was so much fun. It's actually a 3-hour interview, so you might want to check out the whole thing. But I'll put a link down below to the Shelly Miscavige part. I'm extremely skeptical on this subject in general, you guys. So I said, look, there's already been rumors about this kind of stuff, and I don't easily believe them. Please put me in touch with one of the people that you've discussed who was personally involved in responding to the phone call about Shelly Miscavige. If you personally put me in touch with this individual, then I will have a confidence level, a level of comfort of actually reporting that this was a fact. Well, you're like, well, you're talking about it now, Aaron. What changed? What changed is I've had so much success in the last couple of weeks in asking you guys out there to help share information with me, that's what I want to do on this. If you live anywhere near Hemet, not Hemet, what am I talking about? That's the int base. If you live near Twin Peaks, if you have friends who live near Twin Peaks, if you're a business owner in Twin Peaks, if you know anyone in the sheriff's office, let's say he said there was two different organizations that were mentioned there, the sheriff's and the CHP. Okay, so those are two different organizations. If you're a member of the sheriff's department, if you're a member of the CHP, if you know someone who is, please help me double and triple and quadruple verify this story. And even better, please put me directly in touch with someone who was directly involved in this story. Because, man, you know, I tend to be of the belief, the mindset that Shelly is living the best possible life a Sea Org member could live. People interpret that statement a couple different ways. And for, you know, the cynics and the naysayers out there, I really don't care what you think about it. This is my channel. I express my opinion, and I do a pretty good job expressing my opinion. So anyone can choose to interpret my statements negatively. They're not negative statements. Sea Org members would kill to work at one of these CST bases. It's the least stressful job you could possibly hope for. And, you know, there's 30 or 40 or 50 other senior Scientology executives who haven't been seen or heard from in 15 years. And nobody gives a damn about those people because they're not Shelly Miscavige and it doesn't get clicks. That is generally how I feel on this subject. However, the fact that what's happening with Shelly Miscavige is something that we can use to highlight the incredibly abusive and inhumane and sickening policies and practices of Scientology and the Sea Organization and David Miscavige does justify continuing to talk about Shelly Miscavige. And so that's why I'm going to do that, but not in a sensationalist, oh, Shelly's being held in a dungeon against her will, because she's not. Shelly's resigned to her fate. That's a stupid, cynical way of describing what Shelly Miscavige's state of mind is. But look, I have to put my own personal bias to the side and go, is it even 1% possible that Shelly Miscavige showed up asking for help? Well, God damn it, if it's even 0.5% possible, it's worth following down this lead. And that's what I'm asking for your guys' help with. I mean, this is, I trust that the email I got is from someone who is himself personally being honest. I just don't have a way to gauge the information that's being shared with him. Do you know what I mean? This guy's being honest to the best of his ability. That's good. That's something. It's not good enough. We need more information. This is at least the second time someone is publicly saying that Shelly Miscavige was seen at the hardware store or the grocery store in Twin Peaks, California. It is the first time it's being reported that she showed up actually asking for help. And if the CHP or the sheriffs showed up and took her back, there should be a report, unless the corruption runs deep and they didn't even write a report, which is what happened with the Clearwater Police. When I called them asking for help, they were so corrupt, they didn't even write a report of the incident of me having called for help. So if the Clearwater Police can be that corrupted, then for sure the CHP can be that corrupted. For sure the sheriffs could be that corrupted, but I'm not leveling accusations. Well, someone's leveling accusations. It just happens to not be me. So that's what I wanted to share regarding the Shelly Miscavige situation for the time being. Once I have more information on this, I will absolutely share it with you guys. I have 2 or 3 other separate live streams I'm going to do today, all relatively short, but I'm going to keep them their own subjects so that one doesn't get lost in the other. Thanks for joining me on this chat, you guys. I hope everyone has a wonderful new year. I'm not done for the day, so hit that subscribe button, hit those notification bells if you want to see what's coming up next. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here.